Welcome, everybody. It is the crazy 2 o'clock class on Monday. And today we're going to do something easy. I know this is an intermediate advanced class, but we're going to keep it pretty easy, especially in light of some of the past songs that we've done. We're doing Mona Lisa on page 186, and it's from Captain Carey USA. Does anybody know what Captain Carey USA actually is?
No.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I
Have you seen it?
believe it's about a army psychiatrist, and if I'm not mistaken, and it's about a guy who goes to him for treatment, and he ends up leaping off the water tower. I may
Oh,
be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
okay. That's I've
Gregory
never
Peck.
seen it, but what I researched of it is it's a 1950 American crime film starring Alan Ladd and Wanda Hendricks, and it's about an American returning to post-World War II Italy to bring a traitor to justice. So,
Hey, mine
ye
is a wrong one. Wrong one. This was Gregory Peck and Eddie
oh,
Albert, I think.
okay, that's a different movie then. Yep, different one. The film was based on the novel After Midnight by Martha Albrand, and the theme song was Mona Lisa, and it was performed in the film by Charlie Spivak, who was a band leader and a trumpet player, and Tommy Lynn. So that's who did it in the film. Okay, and it was actually written for that film. It was written for Captain Carey USA um, by, of course, Jay Livingston and Ray Evans. Um, and if you'll see those two names paired up quite frequently for a lot of films and musicals. The song won the Oscar for the Best Original Song in 1950. The first musical arrangement was an orchestration by Nelson Riddle, and it was the B-side of The Greatest Invention of Them All. The cover version was by Nat King Cole. I think that's the one everybody knows. It spent 5 weeks at number one on the Billboard Singles Chart in 1950. I didn't know they had a Billboard Singles Chart all the way back then, but they did. Now, here's what surprised me. There were several rockabilly versions, really, of Mona Lisa that charted. They charted. Rockabilly version was released by Carl Mann in 1959. So if you look that up, I think you'll be kind of amazed at how different it sounds. You can't just play rockabilly and play because he kind of changed up the melody a little bit. So I didn't even bother to try it because it just if you put on rockabilly and then try to play what's here, it doesn't come out right. So do go to YouTube or have Siri or Alexa play it for you. Carl Mann, rockabilly version of Mona Lisa, 1959. Conway Twitty did one too in 1959. So, that tells you country, rock stuff. Andy Williams did a version in 64, Willie Nelson in 81, and a guy called Shakin' Stevens did it as late as 2011. So, just a beautiful song that most of us remember being done by the late, great Nat King Cole. So, that's kind of the version that I'm going to stick with today, if that's okay with you. I do have some chord changes, because as far as roadmap, none. We don't have any. So, you can play it a couple of times if you want um, by changing presets. This is going to be one that you can just get creative or just, poke a preset and play. This is one of those that you can actually do that. Now, I did find a pretty decent intro, so I wrote it out for you. And I would actually play the intro with only the easy button. Only the easy button, and then just do it like in a free fall. So it does come up on song setup. On one instrument, the newer ones, it comes up to Bolero de Amor at 94, which I thought was a little fast. On the Imperial, it comes up Autumn Keys at 64, and that's a little bit more the speed that we're used to hearing it from Nat King Cole. Okay? So I pretty much kept everything at 64, even though I think I chose 5 different rhythms to do this on. If you have a smaller instrument, any of your smooths are going to be beautiful. Or I even tried it on Latin. So your Latin full band, slow it down, is going to work. I also did this on contempo folk style, which is what I use for a lot of 70s songs, and just slowed it down. And what else did it? Oh, jazz club. Jazz club and dinner and dance. So there's some nice uses for those backgrounds as well. And then if you want to get really crazy, go for the rockabilly. And see what you think. All right. I'm going to just start out by playing it. And again, I just took the sound from the autumn keys from the song setup that it brought up here, and I'm going to just play it with no rhythm. I just took the rhythm off and put it in its own preset. Again, but since I have so many other versions, I just wanted to kind of show you what those were too. Now that was song set up in the Imperial. Now remember,
So
if you
that
got
was autumn key at 64?
autumn keys at 64, yes.
Okay.
It was pretty, wasn't it? Yeah. Now dinner and dance is going to give you like the same type of a feel. I do believe I put it on rhythm preset 8 and just got a piano, because if you actually see Mr. Nat King Cole, he's sitting at a piano when he's playing. Okay, Freddie, if you don't have it, just make sure you email me after class and I'll make sure you get a copy, okay? No worries. No worries. So dinner and dance is just going to keep it the same type of a feel. And then there's a trumpet on the bottom. Kind of gives you that big band type of a feel. Or if you put it on Jazz Club, put it on Rhythm Preset 0 and give it that little piano lounge flavor, and then your horns on the bottom. And if you're one of those that likes to noodle, then that's a good one to try, noodling, because on the piano it just gives you a little bit more opportunity to noodle. What do I mean by that? Just doing a few little runs or flips or grace notes to give it more of that little jazz feeling. And don't worry about making mistakes. You can't make a mistake. try little things with that, because just a nice little light piano like that gives you an opportunity to do a little bit of noodling. And that's Jazz Club, slowed down to 64. I also did this on Ballroom Latin, so for those of you that love the Latin background, it does give it a little bit of different flavor. And I went to piano and strings on top, and a flute with some other stuff on the bottom. Gives it a little more of a danceable feeling when you play it on a Latin. Up the wrong line. Totally different flavor on the Latin. And then I also went with the folk style, which is contempo, no variation, or on the E organs, it's in your rock, and it's called basic folk, and it's in your rock section. But slow it down again to 64, and I'm using rhythm preset 0, vintage 0, so you get the guitar and flutes together. So that gives you 5 different ideas without going crazy. And like I said, if you want to listen to Carl Mann doing rockabilly and then give it a try, go for it. But you really got to listen for the melodic changes that he's doing, and Conway Twitty as well, because they're not really just singing what's here. They're making the melody a little bit different, and so I really couldn't quite recreate it the way I would have liked to. Okay, so let's get out your pencils and do some extra chords. Why? Because I can. First line, no changes. Woo! Good start, huh? Second line, second measure. Over the F sharp for the word like, put a G major 7. Gorilla major 7, and it's 2 notes. It's F sharp and G at the same time. And that's good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the D 8th note for the word with. Put a D diminished, dinosaur diminished, which is 2 fingers. It's D and A flat. Remember the rule is the letter plus 6 to do a diminished. If you would like to play a D diminished 7, please do that. It's a 4-fingered chord. It's the letter plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or D, F, A flat, B.
I'm sorry, Dawn, I had a call. Could you go back to that F on the second line, second measure?
Second line, second measure. Over the first F sharp, put a G major 7. Gorilla major 7. F sharp and G for 2 counts. And then over the D for the word with, put a D diminished or a D diminished 7. Third line, the A minor is good for 2 counts. Beat 3, which is in between the notes, is a D 7, dinosaur 7, C and D. Third line, second measure, over the F sharp for only, put an A minor, go back to your A minor, C and A. That's it for that page.
Wait a minute. What did you say that again? Oh, the third line.
Third
Over the
line.
D for lonely. Okay.
Yep.
Put a what?
The third line, first measure, third beat is a dinosaur 7.
Right.
And then second measure over the F sharp is an A minor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just go back to the A minor. And then you're good now for the whole rest of the page.
Oh, good.
Oh, told you, today was easy. Today's an easy song. All right, top of the second page, second measure. First line, second measure. First word sounds like syllable. First line, second measure. Over the F sharp, put a G major 7, gorilla major 7, which is F sharp and G, for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the D eighth note for the word hide, put a G7, gorilla 7, F and G. Second line, the C chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3, which is in between the notes, put an A minor, alligator minor, C and A. The C minor is good for that whole next measure. Third line, the G chord is good for 2 counts. In between the 2 notes, beat 3, put a D diminished, D and A flat, or you can make it a D diminished 7, which would be D, F as in fish, A flat, flat alligators, and B butterfly. Second measure, cross out the D or D7 and replace it with A minor, alligator minor, for 2 counts. Beat 3 is in between the notes. Put a D augmented or a D7 augmented. The D augmented is D dinosaur, F sharp, sharp fish, A sharp, sharp alligators. And then if you want the 7, it's a C, and you can put that top or bottom. So C, D, F sharp, A sharp. Remember the rule for augmented is the letter plus 4 more. The G is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 is in between your notes. You want to put in a G7, so you're just going to add an F. Line 4, the C is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the G for the word real. Put a C sharp diminished or a C sharp diminished 7. Remember the rule, it's the letter plus 6. So C sharp and G. Or if you're making it a diminished 7, it's plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So C sharp, E elephant, G gorilla, B flat, flat butterflies. The G chord is fine. Let's go to the last line. Cross out the D7 and replace it with A minor. A minor, alligator minor, for 2 counts. And then beat 3 over the C for lovely, D7. Now you did notice that one time I played it, I did a no chord right after Are You Real Mona Lisa, no chord, or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art, and then you can put the A minor back in there. Any questions? Okay, we're done.
I have one, Dawn.
Oh, that's okay.
On the second page, that second line, that just that first measure, what was that again? There's a
The
C and
C
then,
chord, yep, the C is good for 2 counts.
yeah,
Beat 3, which is in between the notes, is an A minor, alligator minor.
okay. And then this C minor after that is okay.
Yep, that's perfect. Yep.
All right, that's
Yep.
all. Thank you.
Easy song today, super easy song, but
Where did-
really
Where
pretty.
did you say you put that no chord there at the end? You said?
Yeah,
you
I
put-
did that in line 4,
Yeah,
second measure,
Yeah.
right before you do or just So beat 3, you might want to put a no chord. That's optional.
okay.
So then that would sound like this.
So you use the no chord just for those,
Just for those, just for 2 counts. Yep, just
for
for those
those
3
2
little
beats.
notes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
right.
Now, if you want to hold it for longer than that, you could. like it just for those three notes. I think that's enough.
What was your favorite background?
Oh, I really liked it on Jazz Club. I liked it on the Latin. It just depends on your mood.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to remember, Jazz Club is one of my 5 go-to backgrounds, so that's always going to be one of my favorites. What I didn't try it on was Strings 101, which I'm sure that would sound absolutely fabulous, but I use that for so many things. Let's slow that baby down. And I'm sure it's going to be fabulous. Makes it fuller. Just makes it really big and full. Or use the violin on the bottom. This is one of those songs where you could use probably every rhythm on your instrument and it's going to sound good. Except maybe rockabilly.
Dawn, Dawn, would you go to the second page, the 4th line? You added a chord in there. What was that chord?
Yeah, 4th line, first measure, I had a C chord for 2 measures, and then over the G for the word real, I put in a C sharp diminished.
D sharp like in Dawn?
Nope, chicken sharp. Chicken sharp
Chicken
diminished.
sharp, okay.
Yep.
Thank
Chicken
you.
sharp diminished. That was the one I missed. Yep.
I have a question. The very last chord, you cross off the G, you did an A minor. Is that what you did?
Where?
The
No.
very last chord.
No, it's a G. No.
Okay. Why did I see? I thought you said A minor, but okay.
A minor is the D. I crossed out the first chord.
Yeah. Okay. Got that.
Cross out the D and put an A minor. And
Right.
that's for 2 counts. And then put the D7
D7.
for
Okay.
lovely. And then end on G.
Okay. Got it. Thank
Yep.
you.
Remember, we are in the key of G. You don't find a lot of songs in easy play in the key of G. And the only reason to know that is if you are using the intro that comes with the background. Now, I am giving you an intro, which you can use or not use, whatever you decide. But I thought it was really pretty. I thought that was a pretty intro. I didn't create it myself. I took it from somebody else's arrangement.
Dawn,
Yeah.
why did you use the easy button on the intro?
Because if I would just play it in
The G.
well, yeah, if I just play it in the key that it's in, it rushes me. It rushes me, and it's a little harder to play. See, I'd have to do it this way. Okay, this is using the background. It's using my drummer. Okay, I started on a no chord. 2, 3. I felt rushed with that.
Okay.
I liked doing it just on the easy because then I could take my time. And there's a couple of fermatas. And remember what a fermata is. You can hold it as long as you want. I do have a C13 chord in the intro. It's optional. C13. It's actually really super easy to play if you can remember where it is. C13 is A, B flat, and C, and that's it, 3 notes. A, B flat, and C, and it comes up C13. So how does that actually sound? Because I always wonder if is it going to make a difference? Here's a C. Here's a C7. Here's a C9. Take off the swing. That's what I needed to do. Here's a C. Here's a C7. Here's a C9. Here's a C13. It's very close to a C9, but it's actually easier to play because it's only 3 notes.
So when you, on the intro, when you had the no chord, you came in on your intro sheet on the third or fourth measure and start playing your chords then?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
But I have it marked as a no chord. I
Oh,
have you
okay,
marked as a no chord so that you're just going to be no chord at all, and then you're going to do like a free fall.
Okay. Okay.
And there's a fermata here, and then I did a gliss, and now you're going to play your chords. And then I slowed it way down here. And there's another fermata. Then you go into it.
Okay.
So it
That
just
sounds like you're on strings 101, doesn't it?
yeah, it's just strings. It's just strings.
But it's autumn.
Yeah, yeah. It was what came up on song setup.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Just strings. But you could do that on strings 101 as well. Just do, just take off the strings 101 and then make a whole separate preset of just putting the easy button on, and then you get the same sound. It would sound completely different if I did that on a piano. If I did that on Jazz Club, let me try that. I'm going to take off. I'm going to go to the Jazz Club, and then I'm going to take off the swing, and I'm going to save it into, I'm going to have to do like A10. Just put easy on. Memorize A10. See, I use these presets all the time because it makes life really easy. So now I'm going to do A10 and then go back to A3. It's going to sound different on a piano. Really did sound different, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I could have put some strings along with that, and it would have sounded good.
Sounded a little bit like Floyd Kramer.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I'm playing a lot of thirds. So it will give you a little bit of a challenge just to play the intro with what kind of fingering, because I'm not giving you fingering on the intro. That you're going to have to figure out for yourself. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge just to have some fun with playing the thirds. And to get your fingers spidered up and down. See, I got to do a lot of jumping around. You just got to figure out where you want your fingers to go and just let them flow. Let them flow. Yeah.
Dawn,
Yeah.
can you play it, transpose it to B flat?
Yes, but
That
why
was
would...
the original key. I'd like to hear that.
Oh, okay. Do you have perfect pitch? Stan, are you kind of? Yeah,
Kind of.
kind of? Okay. All right. I'm going to put it on B flat, but I think what did I not play a lot of? I'm going to do Dinner and Dance on the muted trumpets and see what you think. Oh, wait a minute. You said the original key was B flat, right?
Yes.
So you can't transpose it to B flat. That won't work. You know
Ah,
why?
no.
Because it's written in the key of G. So if I transpose, this is actually a good lesson. If I transpose my organ down to the key of B flat, guess what I'm actually playing in?
G.
F.
Yeah.
Remember,
okay.
transposing is about distances. If you transpose down to B flat, you're only going down 2, correct?
Yes.
So if I'm down 2 from the key of G, I'm only down to F. Right? So I have to
Gotcha.
count. Let's count. 1, here's G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I could go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I think I'll do up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it actually has to say transpose to F in the window in order for it to sound like B flat for real.
Got
Okay?
it.
Make
Mhm.
sense? All right,
It
let's
makes
try it.
sense.
Let's try it. That's going to be too high now. Nope, that's going to be, I'm going to have to go the other way. How many down did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really? 9 down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That doesn't make any sense either. G. Nope, I did that wrong. G, if I'm in G and I want to go up to B flat, I only go up 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I told you wrong. 1, 2, 3. E flat. That sound better?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so I transposed up because if you're in the key of G and you want to go up to B flat, I had to go 1, 2, 3 up to B flat. Okay. I don't know where I got the other number from. I don't know what I was counting.
Thank you,
from.
Stan. That was nice. It's a nice tone.
Yep. So then you're actually putting the transpose to E flat in your window. Because remember, it's about distances. If I would have just gone down 2 to B flat and it would have said B flat in the window, I would have actually been playing an F. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, transposing can get a little tricky, but you just got to remember it's just all about the distances. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I don't have perfect pitch, so putting it in a different key to me doesn't really. Sometimes it sounds better, but you know, some people really do hear the different scales in color. They hear the colors.
Yeah. I usually go by sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's a good thing. I envy people that can do that. Yep. Good questions. Wow. Okay. Well, I do have fingering for you as well, not for the intro, but for the rest of the song. So for those of you that need it, stick around. I did get a suggestion already for another book that we can use when we happen to get done with this, because, yeah, we're about 10 away from being done with this book. Because remember, 2 years ago, we actually started with The Nearness of You was the first song. So we are almost up to that. So we're going to need a new book. And I had, can't remember, I think it was Helen, said, let's do book number 57, which is a blue book with orange lettering, and it says more of the best songs ever. It's kind of the companion book to book number 200, the Black Lowry song, the black book that says best songs ever, and then 57 says more of the best songs ever. Take a look at it and see what you think, or look for something else that might be different. And again, I'm trying to keep the Monday class a little more of a variety of songs. Like the 70s we do on Wednesday is very specific. It's a specific genre. Monday I like to keep a little bit more, you know, some Broadway, some movies, some oldies, some newies, you know, and so we've got to find a book that's going to give us that kind of stuff.
I have a book called Grammy Record of the Year,
That's not a bad one either. 160.
2011.
What's the number?
It's number 160.
Yeah, 160. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Maybe.
I looked at that for another class as well. That's not a bad book. So that would be one to look at as well. Let's put that one on the list.
Dawn, did you say you started this book at the very thought of you?
No, the nearness of you. I think. Yeah, The Nearness of You is on page 202, so we're coming up to it. That was the first song I started. You know why? You know why I started in the middle? Because when we started Zooming, I truly thought I was just going to be Zooming, first of all, for people from the villages only. Second of all, I just picked up where we left off before COVID because I was using this book for a Monday class. And third, I only thought we were going to be Zooming for like 3 months, and I figured we'd be done. Boy, was I wrong. And you know what? I'm actually kind of glad because I truly enjoy teaching all of you. We've made wonderful new friends and met a bunch of new people, and it's just been fabulous.
We
Dawn,
can-
what was the number of the book that you
Fabulous for us.
suggest?
What, 57 or
57?
160? 57 is More of the Best Songs Ever, and 160 is the Grammy songs.
Okay, thank you.
So keep looking, and I'll take any more suggestions, and then we'll narrow it down. But yeah, we're coming up to a point where we're going to have to vote on a book so everybody has time to get the books ordered.
Okay.
Yeah, book 200, 7th edition. More Mona Lisa's not it. Really? Okay. Wow, I'm surprised. All right, if you need a copy of Mona Lisa, I know it's in a lot of books. If you don't have it, email me at 5028, and I am more than happy to, 5028 at fletchermusic.com, and I am more than happy to send you a copy of Mona Lisa.
I sent you an email already.
Okay, all right. Very good.
Dawn?
Good. Yeah.
In my setup comes out Bolero de Amor.
Mm-hmm. The bigger organs have Bolero de Amor. Uh-huh. But it comes up at 94, which I think is a little fast. So,
Yeah.
Use it. Try it at 94, see what you think. See, that's the nice
Yeah.
thing about song setups is we can choose and say, this one's good,
Yeah.
this one's not good. Or, I like this one, but we need to slow it down or whatever. So,
Thank
check
you.
it out. Yep.
It's a really nice rhythm too.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. I just don't happen to have it on this organ here. All right, let's do some fingering. For the rest of you, thank you so much. Can't do it without you. So thank you for attending class.
Bye.
All right, here
Hi,
we go.
thank you.
You're welcome. D4, C sharp 3, E5, D4, D4, C sharp 3, E5, D4, B3, G2. You're doing a lot of stretching in there. Next line, E1, D2 with a circle. That is a crossover. And it's nice to have that 2 finger on it because if you wanted to do that glissando up to that high G, that 2 finger's the one to use. Just go all the way up. The high G is a 5, F sharp 4, F sharp 4, E3, E3, D2, D2, B1, C2, D3, third line A1, E4, D sharp 3, F sharp 5, E4, C2, B1. You might want to put a little arrow on this next D, make it a 5. So you're going to be having a 1 and then put your 5 on the D. C4, A3, G sharp 2, next line B4, A3. Now there's more than one way to go up this long run. You're going to have to do a tuck under. Here's where I suggest D1, E2, F sharp 3, G1, circle it, that's your thumb tuck, A2, B3, C4, and then stretch up to the E5. There's other ways to do it, but I think that's the easiest. D4, C3. Next line, B2. D4, C sharp 3. E5, D4, D4, C sharp 3, E5, D4, B3, G2, top of the next page, E1, D2 with a circle, there again, You want to go do the glissando up, you're all ready to do that. The high G is a 5, F sharp 4, F sharp 4, E2, E2. I'm sorry. Erase that. It's E3, E3. I need some coffee. I've had a long day already. D2, D2, B1, C2, D3, second line E4. C1, D2, E flat 3, E flat 3, B4, G5, F4, E flat 3. Next line, E flat 3, D2. Check mark. Here you want to totally lift your hand. Do an E5, D4, D4, F sharp 1. High E5, D4, D4, B2. You can do a check mark or you can do a thumb tuck, do a C1. D2, E3, E3, F sharp 4, G5, F sharp 4, E3, E3, D2, check mark, low D1, E2, D1, and the last line is C4, D5, B3, A2, C4, D5, B3, A2, G1. All right. Any questions? It's a pretty song. It's a nice, easy one.
Yeah, nice.
Hopefully there's enough additions in it to give you just a little bit of a challenge. I think the intro will give you a little bit of a challenge. And then next week we will do Moon River. Oh, another easy one. Oh,
John,
beautiful. Yep.
could I ask you a question?
You
I
may.
probably should know this answer, but right now I don't. You want to start this out on the intro with just easy and no rhythm.
Mhm.
Okay.
I would.
So now when I finish my intro and I want to hit that no chord of the G and put in rhythm, I want to know how I get off that easy button and get to the rhythm. Do I have to have that preset?
Yeah, it's going to be your easiest.
Otherwise,
Your easiest is going to be to, first of all, what I did is I set it into A1 or A2, doesn't matter. You always want to leave one behind so that if you do decide to do the intro, here's what I did. I went song setup, okay, Mona Lisa, but I turned off the intro. You do not want the intro to play again.
right.
Okay? So you can turn off the intro, then save it. Memorize A1 with rhythm, with style, with transpose. Turn your memorize button off. Now, the next thing you do is turn off your swing button or whatever rhythm came up.
Okay.
And turn the easy button back on.
Okay.
You know why? Because now I have the same sound. The same sound is going to be there.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
See what I did?
Yeah.
So you have the same sound, you're just going to be on an easy button. Then you're going to do the no chord. When you do a no chord, because there's no drums or anything, it's just going to stop.
Right.
Then you push your next preset. Then you go to A1.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So in
you
other
always
words,
memorize that into A0, memorize your easy into A0, so it's before, and then you go, you hit the no chord, press A1, and you don't even have to play a no chord, you're already on it. And
okay.
just start Mona Lisa with your chord.
Okay. All right. So you do have to memorize initially.
I think
what
it's
your
better.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise you're going to have to go this and
Yeah.
change your
There's
rhythm.
there's no way to get in there otherwise.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Good question, actually.
Okay.
That was a good question.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
very good question. Now, again, you can try it with the rhythm. I just
Yeah.
think it's going to take away a little bit of the flowingness of the
Yeah.
free form. Just, just
Yeah.
play the notes the way it feels. It's also going to take away from your fermatas because how long do you hold them then?
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You guys ask the best questions. You guys are so awesome.
I always figure everybody else knows but me.
No,
Thank
I'm glad
you.
you asked.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you
Guys,
so much.
thank you so
Wednesday.
much.
Thank you. See you Wednesday.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.